Well, we got, heck of a basketball team coming in. Obviously, tremendous coach. Been in the game for a long time, done so much for our game. So it's a team that over the years has really been hard for us to deal with. And again, a lot of that has to do with not only their players, but their preparation. And so we're expecting to have a great week. Our kids have had a couple days to kind of gather, regroup. We needed this off week. Comes at a great time for us. We had a day off on Tuesday. Yesterday we got in a lot of shooting. And today we'll get back to work and have 3 really good prep days, getting ready for a really good Texas A&M basketball team.
What do you expect the review of the South Carolina game to go like in terms of sharing the good, the bad, the teaching points that you want to stress to them?
Just like we do with every game we play, we come back and look at defensively some of the shortcomings that we have. We look at our offensive execution, and today we'll look at our good stuff that we did offensively. I think we did some really good stuff. We executed some really good half-court stuff. We didn't turn the ball over. We'll look at that first 5 minutes of the third quarter where we kind of got punched. We typically are doing the punching, but they kind of came out and, we weren't real focused. We had some lapses with some of our key kids, and they know that. So we've got to make those adjustments and make those corrections, and then we'll look at some stuff on A&M. So today that's the piece that people don't understand. These kids are my staff. We're all so invested in what we do. It's not a come in, have an hour and a half practice, and we'll see you tomorrow. Today's our long day where we'll watch film probably for an hour. We've already lifted. We'll have a good 2.5 hour workout and really get up and down and do some things to get back to executing. We'll work on a lot of fundamentals today, and we'll look at a little bit of we've obviously are ready game plan wise for what's coming on Sunday. So it's your investment time. It's important. I guess that's the biggest thing I can tell y'all. This is important to us. This is not a hobby. This is what we're emotionally invested in as coaches, as players, and so.
What was your kind of take on the team after that loss, and how quickly did they kind of shift that focus to the next game, considering it was that first loss?
I haven't seen them since yesterday, so I've seen them in the office today. I mean, I think everybody's moved on. I have. We came in, shot yesterday, and got a lot of shots up, which we needed. And so I think the biggest piece is us as coaches today, what we do, the film what we watch, and just our whole approach for the rest of the week. I mean, okay, I had no visions of grandeur that we were going to go through the season undefeated. So, it happened. The good news is we were right there, had a chance to win the game, and we just, we didn't execute and didn't make one more play. I mean, it's one play. And that's you walk out there and you wake up every day realizing, you've got a pretty good basketball team. And when we play like we played the other night, we're going to be in every ball game and have a chance to win them all. So the key for me as a coach is trying to get your kids ready to do that every night. I think for this team, South Carolina had their interest, and so I know that Texas A&M will have their interest, and we'll be, we'll have a good week and ready to go.
Does the Texas A&M game feel any differently? Obviously, you've faced them over the last few years, but with your close ties, is the game any different than any of the rest of them on the schedule?
Well, I think in your approach, I mean, we have to approach it as another game against a great team and a team that's, well coached. Certainly looking down that baseline and seeing people that you worked with, people that you were in a foxhole with for so many years, being with Coach for 15 years, it still has an odd feel when you're not on the same bench together and you're in the same gym. but at the same time, he's got his program, I've got mine, and you know, we've moved on, you know, from that standpoint. And so, you know, we've built our program in a lot of ways with that blueprint. And so it's just, I think at that point, you just got to, hey, you got to tip it up. And you know, I'm the head coach at Mississippi State. I'm trying to beat him. You know, we're trying to win the game.
When you look at the second quarter, particularly 9 of 13 from the field, and compare the overall effort from the first half to the second half, what was your impression, and what maybe you didn't do as well offensively as a team? And again, I know South Carolina contributed to the second half, but how did you? First of all, did you look at the replay of the game and break it down again?
Sure. I mean, number one, South Carolina's a really good defensive team. So are we. I mean, it was, you know, we basically each scored 61 points against each other, and they scored 62 before we fouled them for the last two. So, you know, it was going to be that kind of game, Adam. I mean, it's going to be one of those knockdown, drag-out slugfests. And, you know, again, the game got away from us, I think, at the start of the third quarter. You know, we lose them for 3 threes. Really uncharacteristic of us. And it's the only threes they made all game. And so, you know, during that stretch, that's the piece that you know, you're kind of kicking yourself over, because typically we come out ready to roll. And obviously in the first half we came out ready to roll. So, again, we weathered that storm, though. I called timeout. We were down 4. The place was rocking. You know, so loud, and it reminded me of the Hump. I mean, our place is loud just like that. And so I just, we had a timeout. Kids were calm. We got ourselves together, and we came back out and took the lead. So that's a great sign. I mean, you've got to be encouraged by that when a lot of those same kids I took in there 2 years ago, when it happened and we got beat 19, you know, 69-50. So I was really proud of the poise that we showed during the ball game, and the competitive spirit. We just weren't going to be denied. We were just really unfazed through it all. But again, South Carolina's really good. They're going to make a run. We made our run in the first half. You know, took a 7-point lead. The thing is, we missed back-to-back free throws 2 different times. Could have gone up 11, and we miss them. That's the only 2 free throws Teasy missed in conference. She missed it, but 2 free throws, and those were the 2. And then maybe Victoria missed 2. So you got 2 of your best free throw shooters up there, and it's just part of it. I mean, it's just it's part of the whole deal. So, you know, we had made our run early. They made their little run in the third quarter. Then after that, it was just a heavyweight title match. I mean, just punch, 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 punch. And I think at the end of the day, you know, you had 2 teams that were both left standing, you know, but you had a 15-round decision. And so that's kind of how I took it, looked at it. And again, we put ourselves in a position to win the game. We had so many things late that could happen for us, whether it's a layup or a free throw or 2 wide open threes, or, you know, it just didn't happen for us.
Is it a typical Coach Blair Texas A&M team?
You know, he's probably doing one of the best jobs he's ever done in his staff. They have really got those kids playing at a high level. They don't have a lot of depth, but, man, they're just – point guard's the best in the country. Assist-wise, she's just incredible. 5th-year senior, smart, heady, tough. You know, Curtis, I remember when we recruited her. She's just a competitor and runs his team just like he wants. I think where she's really improved is not only in the assist phase and taking care of the ball, but she's scoring the ball now. So she's become an offensive threat for them, and they've scored a lot of points in a lot of games. And that's what that scares me the most. They got the big piece inside, in Hillsman. She's really doing well. Of course, their perimeter, they can load up with shooters out there on the perimeter and really make it hard for you to help off. And so, and then they got the best rebounder in the conference at the 4. So best point guard, best 4-player rebounding wise, assist wise, and got a kid averaging a double-double. So Danny shoots the ball extremely well. Cooper shoots the ball extremely well. They're just really hard to deal with, and they're playing at a really high level. So you wouldn't expect anything different from Coach. I mean, he's 6-time Hall of Fame coach. His staff is tremendous, and they're doing a heck of a job with that group. So.
And when you look at Victoria's line, she went 4 of 16 from the field, and obviously she had some of those looks that you mentioned that, very easily could have been, 10 of 16 on any given night. But are there things that you want her to take from that game in terms of shot selection and recognition of how the defense was playing her, and trying maybe to say, here, take this shot rather than maybe work it around or work for a different kind of shot?
Well, I think right now, Adam, she's got everybody's attention. She gets everybody's best defender, and we probably need to take a little bit of the strain off of her and have some other people carry the load. She's she's not shooting the ball extremely well in the league, and so to be fair to our team and her, I think you've got to look at some other ways to do what we do offensively. You can't just continue to go, 30-35% night in, night out. So, our inside players right now are really shooting the ball well. I mean, they're at a really high number. Morgan's shooting 50%. Dom shot it really well the other night. I thought Rowe played really well. And so, Rowe's getting back into form, and we need Rowe to get back into form. So, I think we've got some other options, and I think, to be fair to everybody, I think we need to look at those right now.
There were times it seemed like against South Carolina that you used Rowe specifically in Victoria's spot, and I don't remember specifically if you subbed directly for her, but do you want her to ideally work into that kind of a role, and then also do you envision a time when Rowe and Victoria could be on the floor at the same time?
I think we can do both. I think, both of them have really explosive offensive games, and, they command your respect. I think you can play them both, but I think we all know Dominique, when she brings so much to the table, and when she's able to score the ball. She missed some shots early the other night, but then she made some big shots late. And so I think if Dominique gets back to where she was before she had the injury, and is able to offensively do some things that we want her to do, then, I think it becomes a situation where you're going to have a really good defender on the floor most of the nights at all times, because everybody's got a good wing player. And we all know Dominique provides that for us. Morgan provides it in certain situations, depending on the size of the guard that we're talking about. So, that's the piece in coaching. You got to get the matchups right. You got to get kids that can function in that environment. And certainly we've got some kids that can do some things that in certain situations, whether it's a good help defender. Blair's probably our best help defender. Dom's really good at on ball as well as help. Katera provides a great help defender. Everybody has a piece to the puzzle, and we just got to fill in at certain spots in the game where you got to have these things. Blair was in late in the ball game because she sets great screens. She had already freed up 2 backdoor layups on out of bounds plays. She'd freed up Zion on the screen across the lane for the layup late, and so that's just one of the little intangibles that she provides, just like Dom provides so many intangibles. And so we've got to continue to work with others to help them develop those intangibles to add to their game, because you can't be one-dimensional. And so I think that's the challenge for us as coaches, is we've got to continue to develop these kids and develop their skill sets.
Any other questions? All right, thank you,